What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Now, we all know that one side of the political aisle, probably all the way over on the side, they really hate that words have specific definitions. Words like women, woman, and when forced to deal with the reality that words have meanings, the reaction is generally to ban those words or to create a situation where they are renaming, redefining what words even mean. We've seen several situations over the past year or two where it's either Merriam-Webster or one of the big dictionary companies out there essentially have become political, left-leaning activists and changing the definition of certain words. And we've seen it happen several times over the past year or two. You can see, Merriam-Webster, new concepts of gender fluidity are beginning to change the language. Merriam-Webster defining, we've seen many changes over the years happen. But interestingly enough, Reddit, which is basically a far left, terrible place to exist, has now banned the word groomer. Quote, anti-LGBTQ plus, quote, groomer slur banned on Reddit in bid to tackle hate speech. Your move, Twitter. The vile slur, which conflates the community's identities with the worst type of people, have been increasing in use online, has now been banned by Reddit as hate speech. Journalist Alejandra Caraballo explained on Twitter that the social media platform will now enforce their hate speech policy on content that utilizes the, quote, groomer label, which means that posts containing that, again, slur will break Reddit policy and should be taken down. The community, quote, against hate subreddits added that as well as that word, Reddit will now enforce its policy on those who portray being trans as a mental illness or quote their self-deletion statistics in a hateful way. Okay. This does not sound, this is what happens when you get centralized speech, like a place like Reddit. Never use Reddit, by the way. It's a garbage platform full of garbage people. The mods, there's a reason these are a thing. So you see this journalist, right, tweeting this out. Reddit will now enforce this thing. Now, your move, Twitter, now saying that they want to ban on Twitter. Look, words have meanings, okay? And when you actually look up this word in Merriam-Webster, it just says one who grooms animals. I wonder why. You scroll down, the top comment is, in the official British dictionary, this is someone who prepares, the actual definition. Now, of course, people who do, trim, dog, there are dog groomers. Yeah, of course. It's a different word. That's why the English language can be tricky to learn. But it's certainly a sub-definition, but it's not even on this site. I have to go to, foreign dictionaries to see what that definition is. And this person, let's see who you write for. You're a wise Latina clinical instructor at Harvard, gender and tech host at Queering the Law. Okay, so this is somebody with the haircut, also with a protect. Okay, so it's an activist, which isn't inherently wrong. And then they immediately, after the rule, they immediately demand the banning of libs of TikTok. Maybe start with this account using the code to sell merch on Shopify after several Pride events and LGBTQ venues spotlighted by them caused terrible confrontations. Never happened, by the way. There was actually no, relationship. Now, we're going to get into, obviously, the reality of that term. It's a real thing. We see it highlighted every single day. Is there, we talk about it in the schools, right? How about this one? Trans Reddit mod under criticism for inviting young ones back to their home for, injections behind parents' backs. I would say that that's called grooming. You're not their parent. You don't have any right to be doing this kind of stuff. And this was in, by the way, 2021, not that long ago. You know, and there probably are good places on good things to do on Reddit. Anyone I know, they mostly use it just to find streams of NFL games or UFC fights. But words have meaning, and this is how it works, right? We say this word is no longer okay, and therefore, not only can you not use it, but also we also want to use that. We want to weaponize it to ban accounts who have ever used it. Why? Because they don't want, because there are elements that need to be talked about, a light shined on it. Is it inherently bad for, you know, somebody to have conversations with somebody else online? No, of course not. When you're talking about, though, you know, somebody else's kids, we see this, again, I sort of said this before, we see this all the time in the teachers. Oh, I'm a teacher and I wanted to talk about what I do in the bedroom with my third graders. Happens all the time. All you need to do is follow Libs of TikTok. You can see half a dozen of them a week. Now, does that person, are they thinking, oh, I'm gonna confuse these young kids and I'm gonna turn them into, you know, I'm gonna get them to go on my team? I don't think you could say that all of them think that. I think you could say at least some percentage of them are just too dumb to realize that they aren't supposed to be having these conversations with somebody else's kids. But you also, at the same time, you can also say that certainly some of them probably do believe this. If I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, then you have to give me the benefit of the doubt. And there's no reason for teachers to be talking to their students about this stuff. None. It's not reading, writing, arithmetic. Maybe there's a reason the United States is like 15th in math in the world. And, most of our biggest brains in the medical industry and from around the, in our tech industries are not from this country. We're importing mathematicians and engineers and all this stuff because, well, maybe our students are spending a little bit too much time on this stuff. I don't know. Obviously I can't know that, but I think it's pretty interesting. A recent poll found that the majority of U.S. voters oppose using this term to describe LGBTQ plus inclusive teachers and parents. Well, I wouldn't use that term by default. Just because you're an LGBTQ teacher, that doesn't mean that you're a groomer automatically. Now, if you're uploading TikToks of yourself talking about how you have a safe space for third graders, then I'm going to use the word. Because it fits. It fits. You shouldn't be having these conversations. And, here's a perfect example. We had a great pronoun discussion, first grade teacher in Wauwatosa in my state. No, why are you talking about that with first graders? Shouldn't happen. Creepy. Now, maybe they thought they were doing the right thing, and maybe they really weren't trying to be evil. You can't know that. But certainly then when I see, elementary teacher explains why she hints to students that she's in the community, so they confide in her. She claims third graders came out as non-binary to her and other kids requested their pronoun. Why? This is weird. This is weird behavior. This is behavior that I would perhaps apply that terminology to, because she is saying I basically use this coded language so they recognize me.
I am an openly queer teacher. Now,
don't care.
I don't stand in front of my elementary students and be like, I like women, but I wear a bi flag.
Oh, so I don't say it, but I'm using coded language.
Watch band, bi flag bracelets. In my classroom, I keep a rainbow flag. It's got Mickey Mouse.
Shouldn't be there.
On it because I love Mickey, but it's got a rainbow. My kids know what it means.
So she's bragging that, she uses coded language to get her kids, third graders, to talk to her. Do I think that that would constitute some sort of weird, bad behavior? Yeah, I do think so. And there has to be a word to identify that. If you're LGBT, if you're a member of the community, which is just what I'm going to say now, the community, and you're a teacher, that it doesn't inherently mean you're anything. But if you're sitting down with, elementary kids talking about this stuff and, setting up meetings with them after, that's not your job. Your job is to teach them. If you're going above and beyond that to talk about who you sleep with and, what their pronouns should be, don't be shocked if people call you a groomer. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.